Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in to this channel again, where I channel for the collective. This is pick a card reading, and we have a quick message of 3 cards for each group. So I want to do something different and show you the crystal too, if you feel called to the crystal, but not the image of the card perhaps. This is Labradorite. And we have a 4 starseed elemental. This is Hematite. Beautiful hematite. And we have it for fire. This is honey calcite. And we have it for air. So I'll see you in your groups. Oh, and this is career path. For you guys, I mentioned that. Or purpose advice that your spirit guides want you to know right now. See you in your groups. Hey, group 1, this is your reading. Starseed elemental. You chose Labradorite, which I really feel it's very heart-opening advice. Perhaps you've been feeling in a situation of fear or doubt. Anything that it's not love, which is either fear, guilt, just doubts about yourself. Because this looks like a heart to me, Labradorite heart, like the actual organ heart. So I see that you got Starseed Elemental. Well, first of all, I'm seeing the energy of children here. Yes, this card is about children showing us another way of life, showing us that it can be different from what we've been taught for generations. And yes, because there's a lot of star seeds that are new children on as Earth as their new reincarnation in this new Earth right now. And I see that this is to unravel our minds, to actually reveal, because we have this spiral of third eye, and this is all the cycles going into a spiral, and they're breaking away, breaking away. Yes, because you now have all these new views of life, and they're not black and white. They're not this or that. They're not good or bad. They're just these rainbow looks of life where everything can coexist. And a lot of worlds fit in one world. It doesn't have to be either this world or this world, you know, where everyone can express freely and have this freedom of speech, of expression, and dream big and not be molded by society. So yeah, I see a lot of children energy, because when we're children, we don't really want to follow anyone. We don't really want to follow what our teachers want, what our parents want. We have this view, infinite view of our pure imagination and what makes us feel good, what makes us have fun. Very wise children energy right here. So you might consider working with children, or just going into that state of children mind and going into the memory of what you like before being molded by society, by school, perhaps by your family. We got shine your light now. This card tells me a lot about flowing, going with the flow, and shining your light with it. Just going with the flow, even if you've never, for example, I don't know, danced that much or being seen dancing, and all of a sudden in your job someone wants to put music and dance a little bit. Just go with it, dance, enjoy yourself, because in my open your mind more than you think. And I know it sounds simple, just dancing, but it's kind of like an analogy of any other job that might be molding you into a rigid state. That's what I'm hearing here. Yes. Unravel your body, The energy of water is here, and that's really flowing, going with the flow, going with the waves of the ocean, and just shining your light as you do it, not being ashamed of dancing just because you've never danced. You'd never be that fun person at work or whatever. It might even open you doors to, per se, meet a person or talk more to a coworker that you didn't before that also likes dancing, and then hanging out with them, and then discovering they have a side job which is about, I don't know, anything fun, dance, art, music, anything that you think is fun, running, sports. I see specifically something having to do with just moving a lot on your lower body. So for some of you, it might be movement, some kind of movement arts, kung fu, yoga, dance, or something like that. So you might want to look into that, which again is children's energy. It's like, it's not so serious, right? For society to be working in that, it's not like a big money thing in society nowadays, but you might want to look into that because you might be surprised and achieve more than you would know, and actually maybe entrepreneur into something that has to do with the arts and movement of arts. Here we have Realm Bridger. So for this card, I'm really feeling the energy of building something. Construction, that's what I'm hearing. And it might be the entrepreneur thing that I was talking about in this card. Just building the space or holding the space for children or for you to develop this art, even if it's just at a park per se, and you gather with 5 people, and that's how you start your idea and your project. Do it. I know it sounds really fantasy like, but it might grow into a bigger thing if you have patience. And this is what I'm seeing for this card, that you might actually be a great mediator for other people to also take the chance on doing this and transmute all the shame that is in us and thinking that we're not mature enough, when it's really going back home, going back to our child self and what we actually like to do for fun or passion. And you might facilitate for others too. So if it's not teaching per se dance, it might be just holding space, and maybe you are interested in, I don't know, being an architect or something and creating this space and also participating in it, because you still, even though you might just be the mediator for this, the realm bridger, you shall participate too, and know that you can have all this alchemy and transform for these people. And I'm also hearing that even if you think it's too much of a dream, too big of a dream, just flow with it. Flow with it, because it might be bigger than you expect, and all of a sudden you have all this action power. See how she has on her right hand, which is the masculine side, this big power, this big ball of just light and power, which is right next to her honey calcite ball. And this is like action. This is solar plexus. Action, power, confidence, self-confidence. Yes, this courage to actually go for it and have your vision grow, whatever it is. Because if you make a team and you are a realm bridger for a lot of people who also have this vision, whatever, it doesn't matter if their visions are different. It matters that it's the same purpose. It's something that maybe nobody believes that they can do in their lives. Even society nowadays, sadly, like, they don't encourage arts, music, or dance. They don't encourage something that you like as a child. I don't know, building Legos, it can turn into a big thing. Building a building for the arts, for people. I'm hearing art specifically, any type of arts, not just painting or drawing. And yes, it can merge into matter if the many minds that you encounter work together and you guys get to be a team. It can merge into matter. Believe that, trust that. And that's all I have for you, group 1. Hi, group 2, you chose Hematites for the fire card. Hematite, it's a really grounding stone. It kind of looks like a mineral that is really volcanic energy, which matches with the fire card. It can help you ground in many ways, absorb some, transmute some fear. It's also good for taking flights. You can take some hematite on the airplane if you're someone that gets dizzy or really, really scared or nervous on a flight. So yeah, fun fact. So we have the fire card right here. I'm seeing that this has something to do with all of your anger that you've held all your life. And all of this heavy like sadness that has turned into anger eventually, the kind of the same thing. This is gonna help you find your career path and your purpose. It has something to do with balancing energies, the feminine and the masculine, I'm seeing, or balancing relationships. You might be the one that also mediates for your friends, if they're a couple, or just friends in general. You might have done this with your parents, with your siblings, if you happen to have more than one sibling. You might have done this, balance their energies. I'm hearing couple counselor. So you might have that very natural in you. Not to say that you should be a couple counselor, but you might tend to have this energy of balancing the grounds and clearing out. It's just something that you have in you naturally. And maybe you should learn to balance it, because I'm seeing that can bring you down sometimes. It can be too heavy sometimes. And you might carry so much on your shoulders trying to do this. I'm hearing that this happened when you were little. You would do that when you were little for some of you. Yeah, and in your family, I don't know, with your aunt, uncles, grandparents, parents, siblings. Yeah, there's a lot to breathe out and to actually transmute, and we don't know that when we're little, so there's no guilt here for not being able to balance yourself. Know that there is no guilt. Okay, and then we have healing. The healing card is in the middle of fire in alignment. Fire in alignment is your path to healing, and you're meant to be a healer, for sure, for a lot of people. Yes, this could be also having to do with being a psychologist or any kind of therapist. I'm not saying that you should fix people's problems. It could always be some other kind of therapy, like occupational therapy, learning to balance the ground, literally the ground of people when they have disabilities. It could be a movement helper, occupational therapy, helping people that are just out of surgery. I'm hearing, if you're interested in that path, for some of you, it could be working as a doctor, because you have so much alchemy in you. You have that fire to transform, to transmute for others. Spiritually, it could also be that you're meant to be a herbal healer, per se. A sweat lodge guide. Sweat lodge, for any of you who don't know that, it's called temazcal in our language. It's like a sweat house, and you transmute everything there. You go there to heal. In occasions, you might breathe the herbs that the guide brings, that the guide who runs the sweat lodge provides for us. And we use a lot of fire in it, which is another message I'm getting, that you might be interested in looking up into that sweat lodge. or temazcal if you speak Spanish. This is having to do with you not being able to hold your own fire most of your life. So this could really help you if you look into it, and even if you're just there to support, to hold space for others, because there's no per se like one person that heals everyone. Everyone is there to work as a team and hold each other's space and transmute. And they use volcanic rocks, they use the lava element to actually transmute energy. But yes, I'm hearing that, or either a doctor, or either couple counselor, therapist, alignment. I feel like you've always been through so many situations that put you through a lot of fear, and you might have learned to hold your fire and to not express what you really think and just go for peace over your beliefs. But now you can choose love over fear, and love includes your courage. Yes, includes your courage and your speaking up for yourself and even for others. I'm seeing the two dolphins here, like the yin and yang again, like feminine, masculine energy coming up again, just in like this watery energy of alignment. This does have to do with also like balancing your mind, making sure that you're not self-sabotaging yourself, that it is your fault, that you shouldn't speak up, that it is your anger management issues, whatever it might be. For some of you, I feel that it's that. And just bring out who you are, just being you, because this could be subconscious sabotage that goes on. And when your energy goes, the attention goes. So try to flow your energy towards transmuting for yourself first. Put your needs first, and then when you are practicing this enough with yourself, you'll be able to help others to also manage that. It might be their anger, their courage. Yes. If you look into the career path of space holder or somatics, this is also kind of therapy that helps people, even in groups, but it could be one-to-one, to transmute everything in their bodies. Because fire could be very heavy, and you need to move your body. You need to let your voice out, your vocal cords move, and sometimes scream about it, you know? Somatic therapy is also something that you could look into. And yes, to be in alignment with yourself, because this is such a healing work for yourself, that your purpose is just aligned with it. To be a healer for others is be a healer for yourself as well. And yes, don't be so harsh on yourself, such as striving harder for something. Just cultivate the feeling already having all you seek. Just feel it having already. Yes, don't think that this might be a hard thing, or you might have to go through a lot of classes in university, for example. There's a lot of training options for these kind of careers that don't require all this paper, you know, all these certificates. And it's because spiritual community is really growing and knowing what it's really worth, and they don't go with the matrix of society that asks you for work and sacrifice over knowledge and hands-on practice, because not all of us are meant for the structure that school system has, you know. So look into working on training, like hands on hands, because I think the fire means like a lot of movement for you. And yes, you will be surprised what this shift in perspective creates, like knowing that you can actually do something and you don't need to pay thousands of dollars, for example, to achieve it, and just train for maybe much less time to do it. And yes, this is all I have for you, group 2. Hi, group 3. You chose the honey calcite sphere, which went with the air card. There we go. So I already feel that this is a lot to do with voice. Yes, paradigm shift includes our voice and being able to speak, publish, write, whatever is like publishing, sharing with the media, not necessarily just sharing Instagram, sharing, actually having your creative expression be expanded into this. So innovative. I'm feeling, yes, very innovative. And I feel like it's flying higher than you have before. It's also like has to do with the wings, having so many perspectives here with the eyes. And doing so with an open heart, believing in you, having compassion for yourself, and actually believing that what you have to say is important. Because maybe it wasn't for most of your life, for some of you guys. Yes, it has to do a lot of communication with sharing. You are very wise and you can tap into that. You can choose to tap into it if you want to. You might be having to do some shadow work to tap into it, because we all get blocked. And when the moment we choose to work with our shadow, that's the moment we unblock all these gifts. Look at all these gifts that you have, guys. I'm feeling such joy. Like you might not even see it at first because you might be so focused and isolated, I see, and focused on other stuff. But you have these huge wings and all these gifts to share. So yes, it might be having to do with the mystery of life, the cosmos, the earth. So sharing your story, storytelling, just publishing whatever channelings you get. I'm getting the vibes of some of you may be into actually spreading a message, maybe creating your blog or your channel per se, maybe doing your own entrepreneur project and actually offering your services to people one-on-one, in person, or maybe via video chatting. Knows whatever works for you. It's okay. Don't feel guilty if you can't work one-to-one at first, or if your thing is just not doing it at all, because you are so sensitive. I feel you tend to isolate, and that is totally okay. To ground your energy, you need to do that sometimes. Yes, you can be very high on messages, actually super high, higher than you can think, and receive all these messages that you think are random thoughts. No, they're actually important downloads that you should share if you feel like it. The sound of the universe. This might have to do with, yes, meditation, and it has to do a lot. These two cards are related. So funny that you got them, because there's the element of sound too. And it could be, I don't know, singing bowls, just medicine songs, cantos, anything that has to do with the voice. The voice is such a complex and beautiful, harmonious element that we have to share all of this. And your galactic family is here to remind you that they're here with you, even if you don't see them. Ask for their guidance if you ever, any time you feel in doubt, because it has to do with sound and voice and anything that has to do with speaking up. And if you have trouble at first, don't feel hesitant to do newsletters, for example, or something about any topic. But I'm seeing here specifically like healing, storytelling, like channeling the galactic races, for example, Arcturians or the Pleiadians. Yes. For some of you, if that's not something you believe in or haven't researched about, I invite you to, if you feel like it. Not, it might just be like speaking up, like having a podcast of this very interesting project that you have. I feel like some of you already had the idea of doing a podcast. It's just you are very detail oriented too. You might be hesitant, but go for it, whatever topic it is. Sacral chakra, oh, the creativity. Yes. Look at this. This is what the outside was waiting for, this card. Core of creation. The core as the cycles that maybe before were so hard to uncover, to feel for your ancestors, for your family, for generations, guys, are not coming to fruition. All these gifts that you have, all of this creativity with just the art of creating your own voice platform. That's what I'm hearing, voice platform. Yes. And you can always start again. If anything, you can, I think you might have the ability to get multitasking projects because of the snake, the death and rebirth symbol of the snake. And I feel this is like, yes, it's going into infinite symbol, and actually being able to start a project, finish a project, start another one. You might be able to, for example, write so many books, do a lot of podcasts, do a lot of videos on your channel. It definitely has to do with sharing, storytelling. I don't know if you're interested in working at a school or something, teaching anything, workshops, whatever. It doesn't have to be like a certificate per se, profession where you need your bachelor's per se, It could be like storytelling about anything, about the universe, about the earth, about, I'm hearing the sexual topics, divine sexual energy. Yes, because of this chakra. It could also have to do with just being free finally to speak about this, because you were never allowed to speak about it, because maybe you grew up in that kind of environment where this was a guilty topic to talk about, and now you get to talk about it, to express how beautiful and divine sexual energy actually is, de-shaming these patterns and expressing. Maybe you might want to be a sexual educator too, mix it with all this art that you have in you, because you have so many gifts, multitasking. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing for you, group 3. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and let me know if anything resonated. It's important to me to know if anything is resonating, to see if I need to meditate more on this intuitive practice that I love doing, if it's actually helping any of you guys. If you feel like it, please comment down below if it did help you or gave you an idea, or if anything resonated. If you have any feedback for my practice, please do so, because it's gonna help me grow and I really appreciate it. See you in the next video. Bye.